So hey guys, today we're going over another dumb deck concept. So here we have the key to the strategy here. Banquet of Millions. Bash any number of cards from your extra deck face down. You bash the same number of random face down cards from your opponent's extra deck face up until then phase. So with how this card essentially works is that we'll banish any number of cards from our extra deck, so we won't be able to play Prosp here, so the extra deck doesn't super matter, but the cards we're primarily going to go into are probably Shangri-Ira, Rysart, and Rysart. So about 3 cards, right? So we won't be able to do the whole extra deck necessarily, but this will be most of the extra deck, which certainly counts for something. So the idea here is that we're going to summon. Probably our goal is going to be 2 copies of Rysart. Then whenever our opponent takes an action, we'll probably be able to or even if we take an action, they'll just trigger our copies of Rysart, and they'll do some sucking, and then we'll suck up our opponent's entire extra deck, more or less. Well, for the most part. And then we can Unicorn for probably about the rest. If our opponent activates an effect and we have Unicorn, I guess that'll allow us to Unicorn effect to banish one, and then next turn we can attack with Unicorn, and then that's 2. So that should put our opponent at like 1 or 2 cards left in the extra deck, but of course, since we get to choose with Unicorn, we can pretty much make sure that whatever remains in the extra deck is a useless card. But yeah, if we noticeably suck up with a Rysart though, the cards will not be returning to the extra deck, so that's why our goal is essentially to make 2 copies of a Rysart and to open Banquet of Millions. So to accomplish this, we probably want copies of Ascendant of Thunder. There's no hard ones return on this. If we open 3, we can't not summon all 3, but we could still summon 2. As long as we don't get like burned for game, we're solid, right? And then aside from this, we have, let's see, a few more cards to go through. So we probably want another level 7 that we can kind of just use. So let's see, Side Beast. The Side Beast worth, you can banish 1 psychic monster from your deck, and if you do, this card's level becomes the level of that monster. This card is much better when Earth is around, but it's still like a level 7 guy we can normal summon, so in that regard, it's not that bad. Like, even as a 1-of, it's like alright, I guess, right? And while we're here, Gold Sark is probably not that bad. And then we'll just throw in some staples, just cause. Ash Blossom. Oh, we have an alt art one. We'll throw that in. Why not? And then we have Pulled by the Grave. All those up. And then we have Imperm. Sure. There's only so many level 7 monsters we can run realistically. I guess fucking. I'm signed. Yep. Okay, so we have Fog King, Side Beast, Ascendant of Thunder, and then we don't have that much else, so we'll just grab Trap Trick. And we can even remove 1 Fog King. And this should just about do it. So extra deck doesn't matter because we probably will never go into it. But I mean, you can just throw in a pretty logical extra deck here. So we're looking for a hand with either Banquet or Trap Trick. So here we have a pretty solid hand. So what we can do here is we can Kashtira Unicorn special summon, and then that allows us to add Theosis. And then we're going to be able to resolve Theosis here. So Theosis effect on Unicorn, add Fenrir. Fenrir adds Rysart, which is pretty logical. And then we'll probably XYZ Unicorn and Fenrir into Shangri-Ira, which makes sense to do to an extent. Doesn't super matter though, actually. We could probably just make double a Rise Heart and just not go into Shangri-Ira if we want with this hand, but why not, I guess. Seems fine to me. Well, maybe it is better. What does Shangri-Ira even do for us? Nothing. Yeah, probably just doesn't matter then, right? Does it? Well, actually, it does matter for Big Bang if we have. Yeah, but it matters then. Okay. So, noticeably, the card we're probably going to banish, that makes sense in my head, is we're going to Rise Heart effect to banish Earth, actually, and Kashtira Theosis is in the graveyard, so we can just Shangri-Ira effect, and then we can make a Rise Heart on top of normal Rise Heart, and this way we can summon Unicorn next turn. So, not too bad, I guess. But actually, if we do summon Ogre, we're going to be able to summon Unicorn specifically, but we can also summon Fenrir then, I guess, in this way. So, sure. So, noticeably, we do not have to actually use Rise Heart or material. So, if instead of using Rise Heart, we use Shangri-Ira, I think that's probably more worthwhile. So, if we have Rise Heart and then we summon like Ogre and Tear Cash, which we can do at minimum, right? That seems pretty good to me, right? Yeah. So that is 2 copies of a Rise Heart, and then we can just activate Banquet and banish the rest of our extra deck. So here in this case, we only use Ira, a Rise Heart, a Rise Heart. So that means we still have 12 extra deck cards. So this will banish all of those, and also I guess we do get access to either Big Bang or Prep, depending on what we're feeling here. But uh, not focusing on that too much. We're going to banish 12 of our opponent's extra deck cards, and on that trigger, that will allow us to activate our 2 copies of Rise Heart. So we'll suck 2 cards there, and these guys should have mats. So if I use a Rise Heart in different chain, so this Rise Heart in one chain, that's attach 2 more. This one attach 2 more. So that's already 6 right there. And then you could even summon back Tear Cash if we're really trying to resolve this, and that'll be putting us at 8 cards. And then if any of our opponent's cards start going to the graveyard, so we're looking at like probably 2 cards here, that is more or less the entire extra deck sucked up by Kashtira or Rise Heart. If they activate any monster effects, that would trigger Ogre. That would, or not Ogre, Unicorn. That will banish 1 more card from their extra deck. And also our Rise Hearts are going to trigger off of that as well. So that's pretty nasty, I suppose, right? And instead of normal summon Unicorn, actually, we could just normal summon Psybeast. Not sure if that does a whole lot for us, though. But if Unicorn triggered, and we do have an Ogre as well, we could trigger that as well, if that's on the field. Depending on exactly how this is played, I suppose. Because we did grab Birth, I think if we normal Psybeast instead of Ogre, we can normal summon Psybeast, special summon Ogre, and then I think we actually can just do Tear Cash, Psybeast, and Rise Heart to make a Rise Heart. I guess that would work, so alright, whatever. So here, another good hand, so double Rise Heart is surprisingly consistent. Is this just a 2-card combo that we can do? Yeah, I guess it is. Huh. So noticeably here, we have both Kashtira Scareclaw Cash and Tear Cash. So we have options. Noticeably, we have Rise Heart, Vanish Birth to grab Birth. So that's probably fine. So we can just Theosis for Fenrir here. So Fenrir grabs Rise Heart banishes Birth, and then one of these guys will then banish our copy of Theosis to grab Birth. And then we can normal summon like Psybeast to banish Ogre, and then we can special Ogre, adding Prep or Big Bang. If we add Big Bang specifically, this is a little detrimental. because we won't be able to activate 2 copies of a Rise Heart like this, so probably preferring prep here, but yeah, just in general, this should work. And in fact, let's see. If we did open Trap Trick with like Banquet, this is interesting because we can use this Trap Trick to trigger our copies of Arise out here. But yeah, this is just an annoying gimmick. This mostly just requires Banquet of Millions. I think the side beast and stuff can help out like situationally, but they might not be as necessary as I thought. So yeah, pretty annoying gimmick, but yeah. Rip your opponent's entire extra deck for the whole duel with Kashtira. Why not? This is honestly probably a worse deck than Snake Eye ripping your opponent's like hand cards, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.